Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we untangle the confusing world of corporate finance with a twist. Today we are digging into Omnicom Group Inc.'s latest report, and let me tell you, there have been some significant moves and shuffles. Also, don't forget to join our Discord community detailed in the description below for more real-time insights. So what happened on the 26th of November 2025? Well, Omnicom Group Incorporated completed a pretty massive deal, a merger, with another company called the Interpublic Group of Companies Incorporated, or IPG for short. Think of it as two big players in the advertising and marketing world joining forces. This merger fundamentally changes things for Omnicom. The official agreement to merge was signed back in December of 2024. Then on the 26th of November 2025, the deal officially closed. What this means is that IPG is now a wholly owned subsidiary of Omnicom. It is a huge consolidation in the industry. Now let's talk about how this deal was financed and what it means for Omnicom's debt. They have several types of senior notes outstanding, like the 0.800% senior notes due in 2027, the 1.400% notes due in 2031, the 3.700% notes due in 2032, and the 2.250% notes due in 2033. All these dates represent when Omnicom has promised to pay back the money it borrowed. The fact that they have these different notes shows they are actively managing their finances and borrowing money for various periods. All of these notes were relevant on that key date, the 26th of November 2025, probably because the merger likely impacted their existing credit lines and overall financial obligations. Speaking of finances, on that same day, the 26th of November 2025, Omnicom also made some big changes to its credit agreement. This is essentially their main loan facility. They amended and restated it, which means they updated the terms of their existing 5-year credit agreement. They increased the total amount they can borrow under their revolving facility from $2.5 billion to a much larger $3.5 billion. This gives them more financial flexibility, especially after acquiring IPG. On top of that, they managed to reduce the fees and the interest rates they pay on this facility. They also extended the date when this credit agreement expires from 2028 to 2030, which means they have access to this borrowing power for longer. Essentially, they are making their borrowing cheaper and longer lasting, which is a good sign of financial health, or at least a proactive step to secure financing for their expanded operations. So the big news here is the completion of the acquisition of IPG. This is the core of the report. Every share of IPG's common stock that was out there before the merger was converted into shares of Omnicom's common stock. There was an exchange ratio involved, which basically means for every share of IPG people owned, they got a certain number of Omnicom shares. This is how the deal was structured to swap ownership. Now, for the employees and executives, this merger had some significant impacts on their stock options, restricted stock units, and performance awards. Omnicom has now assumed all of IPG's employee stock options and converted them into options to buy Omnicom stock. The exercise price and the number of shares were adjusted based on that exchange ratio we just talked about. For restricted stock units and performance awards that were tied to IPG stock, Omnicom has essentially converted these into cash awards. The value is based on IPG's stock price around the time of the merger completion. Some of these awards will vest immediately and others will continue under their original terms but will be paid out in cash instead of stock. This is a pretty standard way to handle these awards in a merger, making sure employees are compensated fairly even as ownership changes. In addition to the business and financial changes, there were also some leadership adjustments. Omnicom's board of directors expanded from 11 to 14 members. 3 new directors were appointed, a guy named Philippe Krakowski, Patrick Q. Moore, and E. Lee Wyatt Jr. And the big leadership move, Philippe Krakowski, who was the CEO of IPG, has now been appointed as co-president and co-chief operating officer of Omnicom. He will initially work for IPG and then move over to the main Omnicom company in early 2026. His compensation package is pretty substantial, with a base salary of $1 million and incentive compensation that will be at least as good as the company's current president and co-ol. On top of that, he is receiving significant cash payments related to his IPG severance package and accelerated vesting of his IPG awards, all totaling several $1 million. This appointment signals that Omnicom values his leadership experience from IPG and wants to integrate him into their top management. As part of announcing all these major changes, Omnicom issued a press release on the 26th of November 2025 to let the public know about the merger completion. This is standard practice to ensure everyone gets the same unbiased information at the same time. Now, diving into the financials provided for IPG, the company that was acquired. We have the audited consolidated financial statements as of the 31st of December 2024 and going back to 2022. This gives us a historical view of IPG's financial performance before becoming part of Omnicom. We also have unaudited condensed consolidated financial statements as of the 30th of September 2025, providing more recent interim figures. And importantly for us as analysts, there is unaudited pro forma condensed combined financial information for Omnicom. This is essentially a look at what the combined company Omnicom and IPG would have looked like financially. It shows us the financial picture as if the merger had already happened at the beginning of the period for the 9 months ending the 30th of September 2025 and for the full year of 2024. This pro forma information is crucial for understanding the combined entity's financial health and potential. While the exact numbers from these financial statements are extensive, the core takeaway is that Omnicom has effectively absorbed IPG and is now operating as a much larger entity. This merger will undoubtedly reshape the competitive landscape in the advertising and marketing world. So what is the big story here? Omnicom just made a massive acquisition, bringing IPG under its wing. This isn't just about getting bigger, it is about consolidating power and resources in a rapidly evolving industry. They are beefing up their credit lines to support this expansion and making strategic leadership changes to guide the combined company. For investors and industry watchers, the key will be to see how well Omnicom integrates IPG and what synergies they can achieve. Will this merger lead to greater efficiency, innovation, and profitability, or will there be integration challenges? The financial pro forma statements will be closely watched to see if this really creates value. My take is that it is a bold move and necessary step for a company looking to stay ahead in a cutthroat market. The increased credit facility shows confidence in future performance, and the new leadership structure suggests a clear strategy for moving forward. However, large mergers always come with risks, especially around cultural integration and achieving projected cost savings. The success of this deal will hinge on Omnicom's ability to execute its integration plan flawlessly. Alright, that is our breakdown of Omnicom Group Inc. Its latest filing. What are your thoughts on this massive merger and its potential impact? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth corporate insights. Don't forget you can join the conversation on our Discord server linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of Corporate Decoder.